Hey guys, welcome to the baking class. So today we are going to be making our oil-based vanilla cake. This vanilla cake, you don't need a mixer. All you need is just oil. You don't even need to beat it with a blender. As long as you have a whisk, you're good to go. So I hope you enjoy the class. Hey guys, so guys, we are now ready to bake, and what we have here is our flour, already sieved flour. I sieved my flour into this. I'm going to put up the measurements for all of the ingredients on the screen, and I'm also going to say it. I put in 1.5 cup of flour and I sieved, and I have here also, I have here 1/2 cup of sugar for this measurement, and I have here 1 cup of milk. This is my milk, right? 1 cup of milk, and I have here 1 cup of oil. You can use any vegetable oil of your choice, any cooking oil that you're comfortable with. And I have here my 2 eggs. All right, so this is how we're going to do this now. First things first, I'm going to have to turn in my vegetable oil. Okay, then I'm going to turn in my sugar. You need to be careful with that, okay? Then keep that aside. So remember, I promised you do not need a mixer to turn your batter. All you need is just your whisk, right? And you just turn in your sugar and your oil by hand. Give it some whisks for it to blend together. Right? Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Right? So you just stir it for some few minutes. Then I will stir in a part of my milk. I wouldn't pour all in, just half. And I'll also stir it in. So this is going to help your sugar to dissolve properly. And I'll still keep stirring. This is easier. You're not trying to whisk with, you know, when you're using your Gary toner, those of you that don't have a machine. This is just few minutes. In less than 5 minutes, everything is ready. You don't need to do much. Then I'm going to put in the eggs. The eggs has to be washed clean. I'm going to turn in my eggs, 2 eggs, just crack and break. So you want to ensure that your eggs are fresh eggs, because you don't want to end up cracking in bad eggs, right? For you to do what I'm doing, you need to have that confidence that the eggs are fresh. So I'm only going to just advise you that it's safer for you to crack your eggs into a separate bowl, so that if the eggs are rotten, you would notice some sign. So I'm also going to give this a stir. See? The sugar has already dissolved completely. The sugar has already dissolved completely. You can do this even when you have no light. You can do this if you're in a hurry. You don't need to stress over anything at all. The next thing I want to go in with is my flavor, right? My vanilla flavor. I go in with my 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor. You can use any vanilla flavor of your choice, any brand of your choice that you are completely comfortable with. Then I put this aside and I stir. This vanilla flavor is so rich. It gives such a rich aroma. Now, we don't need to forget our baking powder. We go in with our baking powder. We go in with 2 teaspoons of our baking powder. Okay, 2 teaspoons of the baking powder. Okay, you can just stir this with your hands, with a spoon, with a spatula, whatever. In less than 10 minutes, this cake normally should be ready, to be honest. So now this is what we have here. Our sugar has completely dissolved, and we have this consistency. Can you see this? Now I'm going to go in with our flour. Gradually go in with your flour. Okay, so we go in with the flour and we stir. You want to give that a quick stir. And see how easy this thing is? So easy to make, and it's going to be very yummy. You don't stress yourself. You're not worried, oh, I don't have a mixer. And you can multiply this batch. You can make 500 grams, you can make 1 kg. The most important thing is you're able to stir. So if you're going to make like 1 kg and above, you want to ensure that you have like a stirrer, maybe like a gari turner like people used to use, that can, you know, turn your batter very well for you. So you see how the consistency is. Now don't forget, we still have our milk. So we go in with the remnant of our milk. You see, your cake is going to be so yummy, so fluffy. So you want to gently stir in the milk in, gently, 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 gently. Right? It's almost like you're trying to make, I don't know how many of you know how to make pancakes or puff puff. You know, it's almost like you're trying to make that, but that's not what we are making. Okay, that's not what we are making at all. So you just stir. This is how creamy it is. This is it. This is going to give you a very rich vanilla cake. Creamy. And notice that you don't use a lot of oil, you don't use a lot of butter, you don't use a lot of sugar, you don't even use a lot of egg. In this economy where egg is expensive, you know, this measurement is saving you your egg, right? So now that we have done that, the next thing we want to do is turn this into our baking pan. Okay, let me get the baking pan. So as you can see here, my pan is ready. So let's measure how many grams of butter will go into this pan. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this. Make sure to grease your pan. Make sure you grease your pan. However you grease your pan. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys how to grease your pan. I'm going to do that in another video. Please bear with me. So this is it. Okay, so for you to grease your pan, you apply some butter in your pan and put in some flour. But I'm going to show you that in case some people that are new to baking, you can also use a parchment paper. There's something called parchment paper in baking. If you don't have that, you can also use what we call A4 paper. But I will make a separate video to show you in case you don't know how to do it. So this is all you have to do. The next thing you need to do is just simply go and bake your cake. Ensure your oven has been preheated. So you should have put on your oven before you start mixing. And now I will go and put the cake in the oven and I will show you the finished work.